Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bubble. I'm Ashley McDowell.
And I'm Darren Barnett. Let's get things started with the latest news around campus. The Berry volleyball team defeated Covenant 3-2 this past Tuesday in a back-and-forth contest. During the match, setter Stephanie Quinn recorded her 2,000th assist, becoming only the third player in Berry volleyball history to do so. The match was the big finale of the team's October Dig Pink campaign to raise funds for breast cancer awareness and research.
Last Saturday, Berry students participated in the annual Make a Difference Day, where groups volunteered at various service locations within the Rome community. For a recap of the different projects going on throughout that day, check out the full story right here on Viking Fusion.
In the spirit of Halloween, a student from Berry's theater department was selected by the Rome City Police to design zombies for the organization's haunted house. Sophomore Charlie Bates walked us through the process of creating the proper zombie appearance, and this story can be found in the Arts and Culture section of Viking Fusion.
And now for our top story. Last weekend, the Board of Trustees approved plans to add football as well as track and field to Berry athletics. This decision has raised many questions and concerns from students, and Viking Fusion's Bethany McDaniel spoke with some of Berry's top administrators to get the answers.
On Saturday, October 22nd, Berry's Board of Trustees heard reports from the administration as well as the students and then voted unanimously to start football in 2013 and track and field as soon as it is feasible. Dean Haida, Dr. Briggs, and Todd Brooks were willing to comment on certain issues concerning this decision.
As the trustees work through, I think the thing that they focus most on is the long-term sort of strategic benefit of us being affiliated with a particular group of schools over time, and the power and the value and the visibility of that association.
Continuing what we've been doing for about 5 years, which was to make this a more vibrant and energetic place on the weekends so that more students stay on the weekends. And that's not just about being able to walk around campus and find things to do. It's engaging students in this place. Students stay at a place where they have found a niche, they've found things to do. It's an active, vibrant campus. So that goal has been about a bigger picture of what we hope Berry is for all students, but also continuing to find ways to find attractive options for students on the weekends.
So overall, it's a very small part of our operating budget. It'll be about 0.5%. So in the end, it's a very small amount, but still, it's an addition. And a lot of people want us to be sure that we're not taking that away from something else, from other sports, from other programs, from departments, academic departments. So we've done a lot of work to make sure that the increased revenue that comes with the additional students covers not only the cost of the program itself, the travel, the game day expenses, the cost of the coaches, but it also covers the cost of the additional faculty that we will hire for those additional 80 students. The other large part of the cost is that of constructing a new facility. The culture part, which we have focused a lot on, is how do we ensure that what makes Berry so special and so distinctive does not change. And that has a lot to do with the kinds of young men that come to play football. And so they have the same academic requirements. They would have the same profile in that sense. They would, academic profile, they would have all the same behavioral standards, if not more strict than other students. Yeah, and yes, Berry will remain a dry campus, and we'll have our own form of tailgating, picnic gating, which we kind of do already for some other sports. And so it'll be a lot of fun, but it'll be the way Berry does things, not trying to be somebody else by any means.
Conversations within the conference about the core sports gave us an opportunity. We were already talking about it, as Dr. Briggs has said. The conference asked us to take a look at it as well. So sometimes you don't get to pick the timing of an opportunity, but we think we were well prepared for the conversation because we had already been studying it. So timing is not always determined by us, but we did have an opportunity to say, how do we take what we know? How do we look at the growth that we're interested in?
And so it's sort of a natural progression. The biggest issue was frankly not adding football. The biggest issue was the decision to move into Division III.
There are two sports that when we joined the Southern Athletic Conference that we do not have that are the core sports of the conference. One was football and the other track and field. And 3 years ago, as part of our strategic planning process, we agreed to study both football and track and field. Now, the enormity of a football study means that has kind of overshadowed conversations about track and field, but that's been part of the conversation for planning for some time. It just doesn't have the kind of conversation value on campus or the controversy about it that football does.
The interesting thing about track and field is you got to realize is technically we have track. Since we became a member of the NCAA, we have what we declare as outdoor track. And what this is a combination of those who are on our cross-country team who then run a limited amount of events, which are usually the long-distance events. So really, this was something that we felt like with the construction of a football facility, it just lends itself for a track. And so we felt like, that was something we would eventually look at later. I think the board just had a little more foresight and said, hey, why wouldn't we go ahead and try to think about doing that? So it's really going to be nice that we're really expanding a program we have.
We know that this decision is not without some controversy. And it was really helpful to have students participate in the process. And I know sometimes students wonder if the outcome wasn't what they were looking for, whether their participation was truly helpful. And it has been helpful. They have helped identify issues that we truly must think about as we look at implementation. It was heartening to hear students talk about how much they value Berry culture and want to maintain Berry culture. So I think we know more as a result of the forums, the kind of issues that have to be first and foremost in our mind as we move forward. And that was incredibly valuable.
For Viking Fusion News, I'm Bethany McDaniel.
Thanks, Bethany. Along with the start of a football team comes a new stadium to Berry, and Viking Fusion has the preliminary construction plans. To give you an idea of where it'll be, here's Martha Berry Highway, here's the Cage Center and its parking lot, then here will be the stadium. The stands will be on one side of the field and will seat about 1,500 people. On the opposite side will be a grass area, also available for seating, where people can set up chairs or lay out picnic blankets to watch the games. Right behind this grass area is a natural rise that will prevent the stadium from being seen from the highway. Next to the stands will be a smaller facility for public restrooms as well as locker rooms for the team. As for the field itself, even though it's being created for football, it can also be used for soccer and lacrosse. It'll be made of turf, so it can be used during any type of weather at any time of the year. This stadium will also have lights, meaning soccer and lacrosse will be able to have night games for the first time in Berry history. For all the latest updates as the college prepares for football, be sure to stay right here on Viking Fusion.
And that concludes this edition of Beyond the Bubble. To discuss any of the issues on today's show, make your voice be heard by leaving a comment on this page.
Until next time, I'm Darren Barnett.
And I'm Ashley McDowell. Thanks for watching.